The Real Take, your weekly real estate news you need to know. Brought to you by Joe Kehrig, one of the most accomplished real estate professionals in the United States. Sponsored by Blueprint to Success, high performance real estate coaching.
Welcome everyone to The Real Take. My name is Joe Kehrig. The Real Take is different than most real estate news programs. First, I'll tell you what you need to know in the real estate business. And then I'll tell you why you need to know it based on my 40 plus years of being one of the top real estate professionals in the country. And thirdly, I'll tell you how to handle it and what you need to do. I've been very fortunate. I've mentored thousands of real estate professionals, and I've individually coached some of the top real estate professionals in the country that have sold billions of dollars of real estate. So after we get done here, there'll be a link to not only subscribe to our program and get these weekly updates, but also to watch our weekly training. So first off, for this week, the topic is Zillow. Are they our friend or are they our foe? Well, that depends who you talk to, but I can tell you, my belief is when Zillow got started, there was no doubt that their goal was to put real estate professionals out of business. The founders had started Expedia, which was a travel agency, online travel agency, and it basically put the travel agents out of business. And they thought they were going to do the same thing to real estate professionals. But the funny thing happened is when they got into it, they realized that real estate professionals are just a little bit more important than travel agents. Not that travel agents aren't important. I mean, my travel agent got me a great location on the right side of the boat for an Alaskan cruise I just did. But again, in most cases, they're not handling your most important asset. So first off, Zillow exists because of our real estate industry's inefficiencies, and more than that, our egos and the politics involved. I mean, who needs 400, 500, 600 MLSs? Yeah, we've pared it down by a couple hundred recently, but really, the outside vendors like Zillow looked at our industry and said, these guys are idiots. So when Zillow came in, that was kind of their goal. But then when they found that they couldn't just turn around and put us out of business, they decided, okay, while we figure this thing out, let's try to work with the real estate professionals. So they developed their premier agent where they sold us ads. And depending on who you talk to, they were either good leads or crappy leads. But it basically, till just recently, accounted for 70% of their income. So then they decided, Zillow has always been at the top of the funnel. And that's the goal, is to be at the top of the funnel. And because we screwed up on it so bad in the real estate industry, Zillow was at the top of the funnel. But then just recently, they started to lose their grip on the top of the funnel with the iBuyers like Open Door and Redfin. So what Zillow did is said, okay, well, let's go out and buy homes and then keep ourselves at the top of the funnel. So they started their Zillow buy program, buying homes. And a funny thing happened. It's been reported that they're losing $3,000 on every home that they purchase. But I don't even really think they care anymore, because now, just the last 3 months, they've got 70,000, people that wanted offers on their home. Now they only buy 2% of those offers. But that leaves, the statistics basically say 56% of those people that don't sell their home to Zillow do end up selling. So Zillow now is all of a sudden, basically with all these, potential leads. And now they're becoming a powerhouse, by buying a lending company, and they have these leads. It's estimated that by the time they're in 26 markets in 2020, that they could get upwards of 400,000 or 500,000 leads going out. And, as Brad Inman says, Zillow, he said, like Google is to home search, Facebook is to social, Amazon is to e-commerce, Zillow is to real estate. So, people are saying, God, is Zillow going to be able to survive? Because they're literally losing $3,000 on every home they buy. I can tell you right now, they don't care. The homes they buy are like the 99-cent breakfast at the back of the casino, that you have to walk through the casino and you end up losing $50 to get to the 99-cent breakfast. because now what they've kind of stumbled on, the goose that laid the golden egg, where now if they have these 400,000 leads and they can basically put them out there to the agents, their premier agents, and if half of those people end up buying, that's 200,000 sales. Now, if they just get a referral fee on 10% of those, do you realize that that equals about $200 million a year? And I actually just think, Zillow kind of stumbled on it. And you throw in along, because the one thing that Rich Barton always said is, Zillow always tried to tell us that we don't want to get in the real estate business. Well, now he just comes out and says, we want to be the end-to-end transaction. So they basically now have their lending company. They'll obviously probably get into the title business, and just with all their auxiliary businesses that they have, they are truly creating an end-to-end real estate business. Now, here's the difference of when they got started. I think they wanted to put real estate agents out of business when they first got started, but now real estate agents are an important key to their business. But who knows, at some point they might end up, buying a real estate company and then basically doing the same thing. But why even go through that hassle of buying a company where they can use the real estate professionals? One of the things we're going to talk about next week is commission compression and how to deal with it. But if you kind of want to know where Zillow is right now, are they friend or foe? Well, if you're one of those agents that don't mind paying a, 35 or so percent referral fee for all your business, I guess they're a friend. But if you're one of those agents that aren't at the top of the funnel, which we're going to teach you how to be at the top of the funnel, be at the top of your own funnel. But just so you know where Zillow is now today, Brad Inman, if you don't believe me, let me quote Brad Inman. Now, in my opinion, Brad Inman is the smartest person in the room in any real estate room. So here's a couple of quotes. Zillow will soon become the largest buyer and seller of homes in most markets in the U.S. It will be represented by agents where they are needed, and they will make the process of buying and selling a home easier. Zillow will leverage its consumer audience to drive business to its premier agents and will, for the first time, generate enormous commission income on their enterprise. I also expect it to dominate both the mortgage and title industry at some point, earning generous fees along the way. So believe me, they're here to stay. It's really a matter that you can play game with them, and we'll talk about it next week when we talk about commission compressions. But as long as they stay at the top of the funnel, which now they have some more competition, now that they have Amazon working with Reality. But again, we'll talk about that next week also. But again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this kind of clears up where Zillow is, where they came from, and where they're going. And next week, make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe. Press on the button before to get a little bit extra training on what you can do about it, how you can put yourself at the top of the funnel. And make sure you subscribe so next week we can talk about commission compression and who's in your pocket and how do you get them out of your pocket. Thanks again for tuning in. And as always remember to honor the journey.